Hi guys, welcome back to the Makeup Hunter. Today's video is going to be slightly different. I'm going to be doing my first voiceover, Get Ready With Me. I haven't filmed for such a long time that I feel really rusty, so I thought just sticking the camera on while I put my makeup on was probably my best bet. So anyway, here we go. I'm just putting on my primer, which is the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright primer. I'll have everything written on the screen as I apply it. Check out the little pinky ring that my mum gave me just before she went out. I feel a bit like an Italian mob boss and want somebody to kiss my ring. Ooh. The foundation that I'm using today is this RMS Beauty Uncover Up foundation. I still am not convinced on this foundation. As you can see from the consistency, it's a very thick cream foundation, and that is exactly how it feels on the skin. I find that for something that is titled Uncover Up, it feels very heavy and it's quite an oily, greasy consistency, so you can actually see like the oil sitting on top of the product. So I'm just mixing it with a spatula, and watching this back I realised that I added way too much. I probably should have used about half as much as I actually used, and I blended it in with a brush, and I think next time I will probably apply it from the back of my hand using a damp beauty blender, and hopefully that'll help sort of mesh it with my skin a little bit better. But anyway, I'm just gonna be blending this in with a brush. The concealer that I'm using is Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. I'm currently mixing two shades. I'm using shade C7, and then in a moment I add a little bit of C1 just to brighten it a little bit. C7 is quite a yellow concealer and C1 is more pinky, so together they make like a perfect neutral baby. I have done some decluttering lately. I was going to do another Shop My Stash video, but as I was putting the products away from my previous selection, I sort of got embroiled in an impromptu declutter and reorganisation. So the products that I'm using here today are things that I pulled to use for a few weeks, but obviously I didn't film it, and what I've done is I've pulled a lot of my older sort of unloved products from my collection to get some, you know, some good solid use out of. And some of the things that I have decluttered were things that were in my capsule collection and my previous Shop My Stash. So for instance, my MAC Lane Low paint pot had completely dried up, so I had to get rid of that. My concealer that I was using in C9, I realised was doing absolutely nothing for my under eye area. It was just far too peachy against my skin tone and was actually making me look too dark under the eye. I'd pretty much used the whole thing up anyway, but I've now switched to this C7, which I think is a better shade. So yeah, I didn't film me picking my Shop My Stash products, but obviously the products I'm using in this video is what I selected. So the powder I'm going to be using is this INGLOT Freedom System pressed powder. I'm not sure on the number of it, but it's just it's pretty much translucent pressed powder with some illuminating particles in it, so it's really nice and brightening and leaves a nice natural finish. It doesn't add any coverage, it just sets lightly and leaves a nice radiance. This is sort of a forgotten favourite, so I'm glad to have pulled it out to use again. And then another forgotten favourite that I'm going to be using is from that same palette, and it's my HD sculpting powders. I have I think it's 3 shades of the sculpting powder, sorry, 4 shades of the sculpting powders, and I'm just using the most pinky cool toned one to contour, and this is a MAC brush that I'm using. I honestly don't hear enough people talking about INGLOT powder products. These HD sculpting powders are absolutely perfect in my opinion. They were really what got me used to contouring. I was always really afraid of like sculpting, and these were sort of like my gateway into learning how to sculpt and define my face. They blend so easily. They're lovely and soft. They're a really nice buildable pigment, and I just think they're absolutely amazing. I love them. And now I'm just going in with an old classic. This is NARS Laguna Bronzer. Another one of my products that I've had for many years, but it's a product that for a long time I wasn't really sure how I felt about it. Laguna's a funny shade of bronzer. I find that it can look a little bit grey on me sometimes, but today I thought it applied really beautiful, and I was really happy with the look of it. So I don't know, maybe it just depends on the brush that I use or what's underneath it. And now, because I felt that the foundation looked so makeup-y on my face, I wanted to give my face a real good dousing of setting spray and then sort of press the product into my skin using my powder puff. I love doing this little trick. I find it helps the longevity of my makeup, and it also helps meld all of the liquid and powder products together, and it really did help this foundation. Up until this point I really wasn't happy with how it was looking, and I've just brushed through my brows, and now this is what I've been using the last few times as an eye primer. This is an eyeshadow crayon from Beauty Pie, and it's pretty much the exact same colour as MAC Laying Low when I blend it out, and I do find that it helps my eyeshadow blend really nicely. It gives it something to stick to. It holds it in place really well, and I've been really enjoying using it for this purpose. It wasn't one that I really loved on its own as a shadow stick, but using it this way as an eye primer, I'm really enjoying it and I'm getting some good use out of it. And for my brows, I'm just using my Benefit Goof Proof brow pencil in the shade 4, and I'm using Gimme Brow in the shade 3. My Gimme Brow is on its way out. It's starting to get quite dry, so I don't think I'll have this much longer, but I've really sort of enjoyed using it again and rediscovered my love for this product. So just brushing my brows up. I don't like this product as much as I like Glossier Boy Brow, but it does the trick and it's a nice quick brow product. The eyeshadow palette that I'm using here is a little one that my mum gave me a while back. It's a little YSL quad. I think it's in the shade 4. It's an unusual mix of colours. It's got like a pinky beige, they're all satin shades, a brown, a warm tone brown, a cool tone brown, and then quite a vibrant purple. But I've yet to use it and really wanted to get some, you know, some good use out of it. And I had an idea of a look to do with it, so that's the one I'm using today. I'm just putting that pinky beige satin shade all over my lid and up to my brow bone to kind of set the primer down, which I don't usually set my eyeshadow primer, but I thought this colour was really pretty. Just having a little bit of a sing along. I was listening to a playlist I created of all my favourite pop punk and metal songs that I used to absolutely vibe to when I was younger. So I was properly reliving my youth at this point. Yeah, and I'm doing a drum solo, and I think I was listening to Korn at this point and feeling like a bit of a bad bitch, you know, getting down with my bad self. I'm using a little MAC single. This is one of their like sparkling shades. I can't remember the name of it, but it will be on the screen or in the description box. But I've just put some glitter glue down, and now I'm just pressing that over the glitter glue. And I have lined my top lash line and inner waterline with the cream gel liner from ColourPop in the shade Hustla. It's like a grey, a dark grey with sparkle, and I've just smudged it along my lash line with this little brush. I thought it went with the sort of the cooler tones of the sparkly shade that's on my lid. And then for my lashes, I've used this little sample of Dior Overcurl for my top lashes and Kevyn Aucoin the Volume Mascara for my bottom lashes, which is a tubing mascara, so it doesn't transfer And then a bit of a blast from the past, I've pulled out one of my OFRA highlighters. I've had this for so long and I've never used it, and it's kind of a tragedy. I just have been so into creams lately that I've not really wanted to use a powder highlight, but I thought I'd dig out my OFRA ones, one of my OFRA ones for a change. And I am going to make an absolute tit of myself in a minute by really feeling the vibes of the song that I was listening to, and 10 points to whoever can name the song that I am singing along and jiving along to. Yeah, I absolutely knew at this point that when I watched this back I would hate myself and would hang my head in shame. So yeah, get ready for it. I'm about to make a show of myself. Until that happens though, I must say that this highlighter is super pretty. It's not one of the super icy, blinding OFRA highlighters. It is actually more subtle, and it can be buffed into the skin really prettily. This has got like a pink shift to it, but it's not super iridescent. It's just got a little bit of a pinky warmth, so that when my face catches the light right, you can just see a slight pinky glow. A bit of a horrific face I've just pulled there, trying to choose a blusher. And one of the things that I've really absolutely realised whilst editing this video is that I am seriously in the need for some Botox, because those forehead wrinkles are popping. This is a MAC blush that I've had again for donkey's years and have not really used, but I'm kicking myself now because it's such a pretty blush. It's like a baked formula, and it's really it's got a lovely bit of radiance to it, and I thought it went with the cooler tones on the eyes. Okay, and here I am about to make that big ass show of myself that I warned you about. Yep. Teenage Laura would be absolutely spewing right now. Oh my good God. Oh please no. Oh please God no. And I'm using MAC's Saw to line my mouth, which I should really have kept closed during the last few seconds, but there we go. Smell the air. Yep, okay. Oh, this is horrifying. MAC's Saw is such a pretty lip liner. It really does. It's kind of like a My Lips but better shade, so it just contours and adds a bit of fullness to my lips. I don't really overline, but I just sort of smush the colour across my lips, and I find that it just makes them look a bit more defined and contoured and a bit fuller. And I dug out a couple of my COLOURPOP lipsticks that I haven't used again for such a long time. This is, oh God, Yep, rolling, rolling, rolling. This is Bikini Bottom from ColourPop. This is the Sophia Nygaard collab that I managed to get a few of the shades from. They were always constantly sold out, but I managed to get the ones that I wanted and have not touched them since I got them. So that is my makeup done completely. Yeah, put your tongue away. Kiss the ring. Yeah, my name is Dawn Laura, and yeah, you will fall under my fluttery-eyed power. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please do subscribe to my channel. Yep, rolling, rolling, rolling. Yep, let's roll along and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye.